I'm letting this slide for now, all right? Just return home and I'll pretend it didn't happen. What's this guy on about? He's clearly out of touch. It's time to set him straight. My name's Olivia and I'm 32 years old. I've been married to my husband, Mason, for a year. We met at a laid-back gathering thrown by a mutual friend. We clicked instantly, dated like any typical couple, and eventually got married. We're not exactly spring chickens anymore. Mason isn't the most thrilling person, but he brings a sense of calm. That's why I believed we'd last, growing old together side by side. We both have jobs, so money's never been an issue. Our marriage happened without much overthinking. I take care of most household chores since we're both swamped with work. Mason never pitches in. He's either lounging around or leaves early, rarely at home. Still, I never minded the housework. My parents lived the same way, so I figured this was just a wife's life. I work a standard 9 to 5, and I don't have a ton of hobbies. Mason and I were never big talkers. We valued each other's space, and it worked fine. Life rolled on. One evening, Mason came home late, probably after drinks with colleagues or friends. Who knows? I greeted him warmly. Mason, you're back late, rough night out. Dinner's ready if you're hungry, but I bet you're not eating this late, right? He turned, said nothing, and shuffled into the living room, brushing me off. I let out a sigh, typical. When Mason's in a foul mood, he clams up, so I assumed something at work or during his outing had rubbed him the wrong way. Best to leave him alone. I know not to prod when he's like this. I sensed him in the living room but brushed it off and went to bed. He'd likely be back to normal by morning. Same old routine, no big deal. The next morning, as I fixed breakfast, Mason strolled into the kitchen. Morning, I said brightly. Mason glanced my way, grabbed some juice from the fridge and left without a word. His iciness caught me off guard. It wasn't like him. He seemed still upset. I didn't see this coming. We'd always prided ourselves on being strong, millions, and I wasn't sure what to make of it. I decided to wait it out, so I went on preparing lunchboxes for both of us. But things didn't snap back to normal. Mason stayed distant that night and the next day. Now I was worried. Days stretched into weeks, and Mason kept giving me the cold shoulder. I tried messaging him on WhatsApp and leaving notes, but he ignored everything. Yet he ate the meals I made. I saw the empty lunchbox in the sink, so I slipped a note into the cooler bag. I figured a note tucked in with the lunch I lovingly prepared might get a reaction. Nope. Another swing and a miss. Mason stayed silent. Before I knew it, a month had passed in this eerie quiet. I felt powerless. I tried everything and nothing worked. Then one evening I took a bold step. I skipped making dinner on purpose. Normally I'd cook as soon as I got home. What would Mason, who'd been ghosting me, do if I didn't? I was curious. When Mason got home, I pretended to be engrossed in a TV show in the living room. He walked in, eyed the empty table where dinner usually sat, and then looked at me. Holding my breath, I waited for him to speak, but he just walked off silently. I heard the front door slam shut. I was floored. Why was he ignoring me like this? I had no clue. I sat there, baffled, alone on the couch. The next morning, I woke up and checked the living room. Mason was already gone, off to work so early. Odd. On the living room table was a note. I read it.
I can't tell you the full story in this short video. If you want to see the full story, the link is given below. Click on it to watch the full story.